Hi everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about the English literature optional paper. We know that now we are preparing for the prelims 2025 and the 2024 result just released by the UPSC. And this is the right time to prepare the next prelims. Okay, so this is the right time to discuss about the optional preparation and all. And we know that a large number of aspirants now this time focus on the optional preparation. So here let's discuss about English literature optional, and this optional provided by us, the Academy IAS Delhi. And through this session, we are going to discuss about the strategy we can adopt to study the English literature syllabus. So let's discuss about the details of the syllabus and how we can approach to crack it. And before that, we can say that there is a myth relating with English literature optional. That means this optional is not scoring and this optional is tough and only English literature background students can take English literature optional. So these type of myths, a lot of misleading ideas already existing in this society. But we can say that with the proof of our result, we have a result, Shubhanshi Singh, the last topper, who cleared this UPSC Civil Services examination in 2023, and her rank was 298. And that's a best proof. We can say that, and all over India, we can say that every year, 5 to 6, that means the proportion is 4 to 6 people will clear UPSC with English literature optional. And normally, at the same time, we can say that the next concern relating with English literature optional is scoring or not. Actually, we can say that no optional is scoring and no optional is not scoring. It means it depends on our strategy, it depends on our preparation, and it depends on our interest on a particular subject. So here, let's discuss about how to approach English literature optional. Before that, we can explain why English literature optional, why we want to choose English literature optional. You know, every optional has its own challenges and its own easiness. Like that, English literature as well. So, what are the challenges normally an aspirant will face when he or she takes English literature optional? That is nothing but language. Actually, it never means that the fluency in English, it never means that the commanding over the language at all. Actually, it depends on your interest and your attitude towards the language. Because English literature optional is comfortable to a student whose background is English or not. Okay, so let's discuss about why English literature can select as an optional when we prepare UPSC exam. So here I am giving some reasons behind it. The first one is we have to prepare only 28 authors. Here only in UPSC syllabus we have only 28 authors' works are there. And out of these 28 authors, 3 Indian authors there. Okay. And here the most part of the syllabus is poem, and we have 60 poems in syllabus. And this poem itself gives the confidence. That means most of the poems, out of this 60, the 40 poems are very small poem. We need not to invest much more time for that. But in paper 1, we have 20 poems, another 20 poems in paper 1. That depends. When we compare the paper 2, in paper 1, we have the lengthy poems only, like Paradise Lost, Rape of the Lock and all. Actually, we can say that the preparation relating with the English literature optional is comparatively easy relating with the poem, and at the same time, through this poem preparation, you will be confident in literary terms as well, and it will be good for the entire syllabus preparation. That means we have drama, we have novels, right? And the literary terms are generally applied in all these fields. So this is the advantage you will get when you prepare the poems in UPSC syllabus. And next we said, the dramatists, we have the drama, we have only 5 plays in UPSC syllabus, 5 dramas. And we have 14 novels in syllabus. So this is what very concise, short syllabus we have. That's the first reason you can select English literature as the optional paper. And next one, I want to say that syllabus of English literature was very focused and restricted. What do you mean by focused and restricted here? That means the two words are very apt in this case. The syllabus is focused. It means that we need not to read the other works. Most of the aspirants have doubts that we have to read all the works. That means we have to read a lot of literary works. For example, Wordsworth, Shakespeare, T.S. Eliot, W.H. Auden, like we have to read all their works. No, it's impossible actually, and you need not to read like that. You have to focus on the syllabus topic only. You have to focus on the areas prescribed in syllabus only. So that is the strategy. So that's what we can say, that this is very restricted and focused. Then why we can use this word, and in order to stress this word, I can add that you need not to worry about the current affairs updation in the syllabus. When you take the previous question paper and the syllabus, you can easily understand that there is no role of current affairs and all these updations in this topic, in this syllabus areas. So that's itself an advantage you will get from English literature optional. And the third reason, we can discuss the third reason. Around 100 days should be devoted. That's a good advantage. When you take the other optional paper, it's impossible to read, it's impossible to prepare the entire syllabus within a short time period. Here in English literature optional case, you can prepare the English literature, the entire syllabus within a 100 days time. That means you can dedicate the 50 days for paper 1 and 50 days for paper 2. That's enough. That's enough, because that's itself we will get an advantage when you take English literature as an optional paper. That means you have to dedicate 3 months' time. It depends on your time. It depends on how much time you dedicate for optional paper. If you dedicate 5 or 6 hours daily for optional paper, English literature, it is easy. So you can cover the syllabus, entire syllabus within a 3 months' time. So that is the best, and that is one of the outstanding advantage in English literature optional when we compare with the other optional papers. And the next one, so here we already said 55 to 55 days chart. And the next thing is that we know that when we take all other optional paper, whether it is a geography, philosophy, anthropology, whatever the optional paper, history, like that, Paper 1 normally some sort of theoretical in touch. The similar pattern UPSC adopted in the syllabus arrangement in English literature optional. That means in paper 1 we can see the important areas like movements. Actually the movements like here we can discuss in detail. Okay, we can discuss in detail in the next slide. I think that's I want to discuss in detail. And before that, I can give the clarity relating with the success rate. Normally, most of the people worry about this, how much success rate in English literature optional. And this is the latest UPSC report, this UPSC annual report. And in this report, you can see English literature optional success rate, that is 22.2% success rate. Okay, 22.2% success rate in English literature optional. So, why this much success rate in English literature optional? The answer is simple. The answer is very simple. That means, when we take the analysis of this previous examinations and the report released by Union Public Service Commission, we can say that around 50 to 70 people will sit for the mains examination with English literature optional. So that's the reason. Only around 50 to 70 only. So the less competition here. That means all over India. When we take other optional paper, if you take other popular optional paper, we have a lot of popular optional papers. And all the optional papers, we can assess that the number of candidates of this optional and writing the mains is around 1,500 to 3,000. This is the ratio normally in the mains examination. And you can say that the comparison between these two ratios, and the people select English literature optional is around 50 to 70 only. So that itself indicates a positive sign. That means you have to fight a less number of people in mains examination. So that itself indicates a good advantage to choose this English literature optional in your UPSC preparation. And next, we can discuss about the syllabus. Actually, the syllabus is divided into two areas. That means paper 1 and paper 2. We have like all other optional paper. In English literature optional paper has two divisions. And these divisions are paper 1, 1600 to 1900, the beginning of modernism. And paper 2, 1900 to 1990, that is postmodernism. And this is the division of the syllabus in UPSC exam. And here we have paper 1 and here we have paper 2. Okay, so this is the normal distribution of syllabus areas in paper 1 and paper 2. Now I can discuss about the strategy you have to adopt when you start preparing English literature optional for UPSC exam. We already said we have 60 poems in syllabus. We have 60 poems and 14 novels and 5 plays or drama. Okay, so this is an important division of syllabus in UPSC exam. And besides this, we have to cover some historical background of English literature. That means we know that the English period starts from the Anglo-Saxon time, and we have Anglo-Norman time, like that. Actually, these two topics are not mentioned in UPSC syllabus, but we have to study it because this is a background of English literature: Old English, Middle English, Renaissance, Caroline Age. Jacobean age like that. Jacobean age, Carolingian age like that. Elizabethan period. Like the chronology is like Renaissance, Elizabethan, then Jacobean, Carolingian. So that is the chronology. And we have to prepare this syllabus in that way. And there is the indication of this topic in the syllabus. And metaphysical poem and epic, what is epic and what is mock epic, what is neoclassicism, like that. All these indicated in the syllabus. Mock epic, epic, metaphysical poem, like that. Metaphysical poetry, all these are the areas we can see in syllabus. Okay? And the same, like this paper 1, in paper 2 also we have these type of divisions. And in that area, there was the modernism, actually modernism, poets of 30s, then stream of consciousness, absurd drama, then colonialism, post-colonialism, like that, Indian writing in English, Marxist psychoanalytical approaches, feminist approaches of English literature. So all these topics are mentioned in the paper 2. So we can say that in UPSC syllabus, actually, we can see the 2 divisions actually. So we can easily understand the division of the syllabus. Okay, the syllabus division is, we can divide into 2. We have paper 1, and in paper 1, we have mainly 3 subcategories like this: literary terms or movements, including literary terms or movement, including these 2 areas. And we have poem, 20 poems we have, and drama, we have drama, and novel as well. 4 subdivisions. Okay, we can take it as a 4 subdivision. And like the similar way, we can see this, the next paper 2. We have the same movements here, movements and terms also here in paper 2. And we have poem here in paper 2. And we have novel here in paper 2. And drama as well. Okay, so this is a division of syllabus. And the total, we can say that 60 poems, 14 novels, then 5 dramas, and around 16 movements. 16 movements. And additionally, we have to prepare the terms. What is terms? We have different literary terms, and this is not specific actually, and we have to approach individually with the work. So we can say that we have to give priority for the core texts. That is very important. We have to give priority for the core text of the syllabus. And how to approach the term is simply, we can say that, first of all, we have to study, or we have to understand the different literary terms like metaphor, simile, style, mood, tone, then euphemism, then anagram, like different, foreshadowing, what anti-hero, hero, then different, like we have a different types of terms in English literature. And you have to understand it carefully and study it carefully, and then you can connect with this term with a literary work. Suppose if you take a poem, Wordsworth poem, one poem is Tyndale Abbey, and when you read that poem, you have to keep in your mind, that means some important literary terms there. Okay, we already discussed. And in that point of view, you have to approach the poem. which type of terms used or device is used in that poem, how the poet is explaining the important themes, content, and what is the tone of the writer, and what is the mood created that particular work, what are the comparisons, what are the simile, what are the metaphor, what are the figure of speech used in that particular work. So in this way you can approach. And the same method you can approach in novel, drama and all. When you take the example, that means when you take the previous question paper, you can see that all the UPSC questions relating with this type of terms, they never ask the content, they never ask the summary. They ask about how this work is like this. For example, explain the satire of this work. Explain the theme of this play, King Lear. So, theme is not summary actually. Actually, in that way you have to adopt. What is theme? What is scene? What is a story? What is a plot? So we have to understand this difference of what these literary terms are. And you have to understand this term and then read the text. So that is I think that's the one and only challenge we have to take when you prepare the English literature optional paper. That means we have to read the core text. That means you have to read the poem, entire poem line by line. And the novel as well, drama as well. But the one and only exception is this literary term only, literary movements. So in that literary movements only, you can read and understand the background of English literature, English language, how it works in England time, and how it originated this, then the list of important writers during that time and all. So that is a good strategy in literary movement. But literary term is, we have to approach individually, and how these literary terms applied in a particular literary works. For example, you can take T.S. Eliot works, John Milton, that means how and why this different terms or devices used in the Paradise Lost. So this is a strategy you have to adopt. So reading the core text is an important strategy we have to follow when we prepare English literature optional. And next we can discuss about some more advantages relating with this. We already said this optional paper is a less competitive optional paper actually. That means you are competing with only 50 or 70 aspirants in India. That means this much only, 50 to 70 aspirants only write the mains with English literature optional. So that is the normal report. The recent report shows that this is the ratio of this aspirants select this English literature optional. Okay, and the next one, standard of question is degree level. Okay, if you are an aspirant from English literature background or not from English literature background, no problem. Because this is a degree level question paper only. And at the same time, when you take the previous question paper and read the questions, you can understand that there is no use of WH words there. That means why, what, how, like that. The UPSC just give the title only and you have to write it. For example, Jacobean drama. You have to read about the Jacobean drama, what are the features are there, and what are the comparisons with Elizabethan time, and what are the comparisons with Caroline age, and how this Jacobean period is considered as a period of dark age, like that. So in this type of a direct question, normally asked in every exam, when you take the last 10 years of question paper, you can easily understand that how UPSC asks this type of repeated questions. That's what I'm saying, that repeated. Questions are repeated. Repeated questions normally used in this optional paper. And the next advantage of this Updation less required. We already discussed that there is no requirement of updations of current affairs actually. When you prepare the other optional paper, you have to be update with the current affairs. Because all the questions are generalized in way. Okay? When you take the geography, when you take the PSIR, whatever the option, including the history as well, there will be the questions connecting with some contemporary issues or contemporary things or ideas. But in case of English literature optional, there will not be a single question connecting with the current affairs because there is no scope at all actually, because you know that all these are connected with the centuries, and that means years and years ago all these books are published. And there is no connections and all. But when you, after clearing the mains examination, when you attend the interview, you will get some questions relating with this. Because relating with some works, and there will be some questions relating with the contemporary works, literary works, awards, and they will ask some perspectives in your perspective about the particular literary work and its contemporary connections. So that will be there, and that is in English in optional. That means that's the area from optional in interview time, your personality test time. Okay. But in mains examination time, you need not to upload anything. So that's number one advantage you will get from English literature optional. And next one is answer style is expected of UG/PG level. Actually, the question is a degree level question, and the answer as well you can write in a degree level answer. You need not to do this research. You need not to use the tough language. You need not to show you are expert in English. Actually, like all other optional paper, English literature is the same. Like there is no exception in this English literature optional. And I can say that if we are selecting Hindi literature, Malayalam literature, Tamil literature, Telugu literature, whatever the language, lot of language optional papers there. We have 22 languages. And out of this, we can select any language, but why we fear English? What's the reason? You just think it. It's like a language, all other language, Indian language, like all other Indian languages. And the literature is like all other literary works, poem, drama, novel, and all. So you can adopt a strategy first and then proceed. That's what I want to share here. And next is the popularity, short, specific, and simple syllabus. Actually, English literature, we can say that it's a popular optional paper, actually. But comparing with other optional paper, we know that means when we take 100 aspirant, and the 95 will go to other optional paper, and then only the 5 people select this. Because the passion is the factor, and how much you interested in this. So that's a factor, okay? And most of the cases, the people fear English. No, I'm not ready to take. So this type of scoring, actually, that is the word normally aspirants use, scoring. Nothing in it, actually. Okay? If you are interested in English literature, and if you like to read, if you like to understand the story, drama, novel, and I can say that this is the best option you can take. At the same time, after you completing this optional paper, you will get a confidence in writing, and all over the English, you will develop in English all over the way. That means you will write well, you will speak well, and there will be a commanding in English. So all these are the important features you can feel after this optional preparation. Okay? So all these are the important things relating with the optional preparation. And next, you can see the competition is comparatively less. We already discussed. And next, the syllabus is very specific and well defined. And you can use this. And normally, most of the aspirants thinks that overlapping. And that's another trick we used to take optional paper. Actually, there is no use in that actually. But most of the aspirants think that we want to take an optional paper with overlapping with GS. So in that case as well, English literature has some advantage. You know, understanding the history of Europe, that means when you start preparing the Renaissance time onwards, in English literature optional paper 1 section A, you will read about the history of England. You will read about world wars. You will read about globalization, urbanization, science and technological innovation, science and technological impact in the society, slavery, and all these systems we will read in English literature optional as well. So it is good for your GS preparation, and it will good for your GS paper 1. Mains GS paper 1, we have world history part. It will be beneficial. And the next one is CSAT, you know. Now CSAT playing an important role to crack prelims examination. The most of the aspirants, that means the most of the aspirants fail in prelims because of the reason is CSAT. And in that CSAT, we will get 25 to 30 questions based on reading comprehension. And this English literature preparation will help you to command over this and to improve your reading skill, improve your comprehension skill. So that's also an important use. Next one is essay. How English literature optional will help you in essay paper? That we can easily say that writing an essay is a big challenge. It's not easy actually, because we have 125 marker essay question. We have to write 2 essays in mains examination. And if you are choosing English as the medium of your language in mains examination, you have to improve your overall English level. That means the writing skill, at the same time vocabulary and presentation of language, sentence construction, and all these you have to improve in order to score essay paper. And English literature optional preparation will help here also. And next one, compulsory English. You know, the most of the people fail in mains examination because of compulsory paper. Compulsory, we have 2 compulsory paper, and one is English language and other is our regional language, you know. Another one is regional language. And most of the aspirants start preparation of this compulsory paper just after prelims. And they will dedicate only maximum 2-3 weeks only, most of the aspirants. Because most of them ignore this area. You know, this is not easy actually. And we think that it's only a 10 standard level. Then why we want to dedicate more time for that? Actually nothing, that is a foolish approach. If we are seriously preparing for UPSC exam, we have to improve the language proficiency as well. Because language, grammar, and all these are playing an important role here. So, in that paper, we can see some grammar areas and passage, converting the passage areas. Vocabulary sessions there, that means vocabulary areas there. That means synonym, antonym, one word substitutions there, idiom there. So, all these preparation will include in this English literature optional. That means during the time of this preparation time, you will study the new words, new ideas, and at the same time, some sort of a grammatical aspect as well we will discuss. So this is the advantage, another advantage of UPSC English Literature Optional Preparation. And this last one is interview. If you choose English as the medium of interview, if you select the English Literature Optional, it will give another advantage. That means if you are commanding, if you are working hard in this language and daily preparing a vocabulary, daily the preparation of new words and reading English books and English newspaper and all, and it will give some sort of a confidence and commanding in English, and it will also give a good impression in your interview board. So all these are the important advantages we have to understand when we take English literature as the optional. So in all these ways, we can say that English literature is a good optional. Then not, and I want to say that within a single word scoring, how can we judge an optional paper with a single word scoring actually? It depends on an aspirant, it depends on a student. Okay, so that's what I want to add here relating with this English literature optional. So these are the strategies you have to adopt when you start English literature optional preparation. And next, I can explain about the program. That means our diademy, the team diademy offers English literature optional classes, and the classes is already started, and this new admission, new batch is going to start soon. And we provide, I can give the details of this program actually. Actually, the program is based on English literature optional class. We are providing the English literature optional, and it is both offline program and online. We have the course duration is 4.5 months. 4.5 months is the duration, and after that you will get the revision classes, revision sessions, and this 4.5 months you will get daily answer writing, sectional test and full test, and besides this you will get revision after this 4.5 months time. You will get revision sessions, and one-to-one meeting. We will arrange the one-to-one meeting. That means you can come to the office and we can conduct the meeting, face-to-face interaction, and answer sheet evaluation. So all these will include in our program. And the new batch is going to start in this month. And you can connect with us. You can connect with our office number regarding with the admission and other course details. And I wish you a successful year. Thank you.